Hanging with these. Here we are, back again after a little 2 week hiatus through the holidays. I'm your host, Deez. Of course, with me as always, Bubba J.
Going
Still
on.
a little under the weather, but
Yeah, I went to the doc today though. We got some meds and we're gonna kick this old man cough to the curb.
there you go. Man, did we miss a lot.
Oh, dude. I didn't miss it. We just didn't get to talk about it. I
Yeah,
watched
yeah, yeah.
I watched it all. It was crazy. College football, NFL, the Pistons got a win. Not that I care, but it was newsworthy.
Yeah. Well, 28 straight.
Yeah, they were what? They were 3-0 and then or 2-0 and then went 28 straight losses.
Yeah.
Terrible. Not like the Pistons of the 80s and 90s that I grew up watching, but
No, the bad boys
yeah.
definitely rolling in their graves if they were dead.
Fuck yeah, they are.
But so Uh, well, let's before we get into the whole NFL thing, we'll talk about the college real quick because it's coming up, and then we'll throw that in. Oh yeah, that's Monday, so we'll go ahead and pick that as well. But college playoffs, boy, that Michigan Alabama game
Oh,
was something else.
great game. Absolutely great. I love that it wasn't a blowout either way. Michigan's defense looked really good. Uh,
For the first half.
yeah,
First half, like I mean, there were a couple of miscues, but like I wouldn't even necessarily say on paper, but if you were watching the game and you would, you were doing something else and you just kept kind of coming back and
right.
checking, you would think Michigan was absolutely killing them because their
Yep,
pass rush was just destroying them. They weren't translating that into points,
right.
but they let Alabama stick around. And then Alabama started going to the run game I thought it was going to turn. I thought,
I did
oh,
too.
Michigan's in trouble.
Yep.
And they go down and they score. And I thought, man, this is where
That's
Michigan
yep. That's how they do it
falters.
right there. Yep.
Like
They
they're
figured
they're
it out.
they're going to get punched in the mouth, and they're not going to get back up. But hats off to them boys. Drove 75 yards down the field. JJ McCarthy looked incredible.
Looked great.
They get the tie, and then almost disaster on the punt
Yeah,
return.
on that punt. Yeah, that was insane. To me, that's a coaching thing. If you're in a big game like that and you're backed up, you know the punt's going to be inside the 10 somewhere. Just as soon as it's kicked, run forward. Just let
Yeah,
it bounce where it's going to bounce.
yeah. Run up to the 20 and wave
Even
your hand and try and fake them out.
even
Whatever.
if even if they down it inside the 10, it's no different than you catching it.
Yeah.
So just run away from it. That was almost the game right there.
Yeah. Absolutely crazy. But they lived to fight in overtime
Yep.
and took the ball right down. Blake Corum, masterful run, and
Yep.
then the defense did what they've done all year, and that is step up big in big time moments.
Yeah, it was a great defensive play at the end of the game. Perfectly executed. Just timed it perfectly at the top of the route. It was great.
But how the play call, fourth
Yeah.
down from the 4, and you're gonna run a quarterback draw or dive or whatever you want to, man.
It reminded me of the Seahawks Patriots Super Bowl.
Now, to be fair, it looked like the blocking was there if the snap wasn't at his ankles.
Right.
And
Well,
they fought that.
the snap wouldn't have been at his ankles if they'd had a different play called.
Well,
You know,
true.
that
But I'm just saying, had the snap been good, he
sure.
might have had a chance.
He might
But
have.
because he had to basically scoop it off his shoelaces,
Right.
he got absolutely smoked.
Yeah, but that defense was coming anyway. It was
Yeah, it was going to be close, but they wouldn't have stuffed him at
I
the
think
line. I think
they had a 6-man rush on that play, I believe.
yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot more interesting. Let's just put it that way, whether or not he was able to power in or not. But with that low snap, and they had that problem all day long.
Right.
That a couple of critical drive killing bad snaps there.
Yep.
But hats off to Michigan. Dylan was, who you haven't met, but anybody that's like Jake or whatever that's watched or listened to us for a long time know he's a huge Michigan fan. So he was probably laying in a puddle of his own juice, so to speak. But yeah, hats off to him. And fuck it. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way now. Let's pick it.
Yep.
Washington looked like they were handling Texas, but Texas made it a game late.
I don't think it was as close as the score showed it to be. Texas played a good game. I can't take it away from them. They played really well. They got some playmakers on their side of the ball. Their defense didn't look super tough to me. Washington definitely looked like they were, somewhat easily able to march the ball down the field. I think Washington could have ran away with that game. I don't know if it was a
I thought they were
play.
going to. I went to bed thinking, oh, this game's over.
Yeah,
Michael
I
Penix
don't
was
know if
just
it was
cutting them up.
Yeah, I don't know if it was just a game plan thing, a strategy thing. It was just kind of a what happened, but I really thought I didn't think it was gonna be close, but Washington's got a much better team than Texas, in my opinion. Texas played well, their quarterback played well. I did see they got Arch Manning up and loose, so I didn't know what was gonna happen there. But no, congrats on Texas for keeping it close, but in my opinion, the better team won both games.
Yeah. That being said, next Monday night we have the Michigan Wolverines taking on the Washington Huskies. Almost like we time traveled and went back to the 80s, where
Right.
the SEC wasn't quite the super dominant power. And, you had teams like Michigan, Ohio State, Washington was tough back then.
Yeah.
A couple of hard-nosed teams. I think Michigan's going to do it.
Couple great quarterbacks, couple good running backs. Man, I don't know. I want Washington to win. Just being a Big Ten opponent guy. I'm not a Michigan fan. I don't hate Michigan. But I'm going to pick Washington. I really like what they were doing this year, and Penix is a stud. I don't know. I don't think I want them to win, so I'm going to pick them, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I'm going to go Michigan because that defense is lights out.
It is.
And JJ is playing about as good as I've seen him play.
Yep.
Blake Corum is an absolute stud. Oh yeah, the comment that's my cousin and former co-host Dylan there. I just think Michigan is on a roll right now, and I think it's gonna be a close game. I think Penix is gonna keep him in it, but I think that Michigan pass rush is just gonna tee off on him.
It's gonna be fun to watch. Michigan's really good, like you said, great defense, and they played great football against Alabama.
Yeah,
it's just for the sake of the show, and I want Washington to win, so I'm going to pick them, but they're probably going to lose.
they're going to send Harbaugh riding off to that NFL sunset with a natty on his.
Yeah, very likely.
All right. So obviously we're not going to rehash everything that's happened in the NFL and with the Steelers, but we are going to talk about the big things. First off, Mason fucking Rudolph.
Merry Christmas.
That too. I mean, I keep going back and forth. Like, how is this possible? How has our offense been so inept for the entire season? And then Mason Rudolph comes in and just 30 points a game, lighting it up. Highest rated quarterback in the NFL with a minimum of 50 attempts, which I know it's only 2 games. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's fucking, the best quarterback in the NFL. I'm just saying. And the defenses that he's faced haven't been quite top notch, but still.
It's still newsworthy.
Yeah. But for him to perform, the biggest thing I see with him that I don't see with Kenny is his ability, or I guess lack of a better word, the fact he just stands there and fucking makes the passes as opposed to panic and get out of the pocket.
Right.
I have been, I won't say anti-Pickett, but I just don't, I don't see it with him. I don't know that it can be fixed. Maybe a new coach can fix it, but there's no way in hell that you could go back to Pickett at this point. If they keep him, if they manage to keep Rudolph, which is a whole nother discussion we'll have down the road with him being a free agent, he's basically this is his fucking audition tape for the rest of the NFL right now. And
Right.
he may not even want to come back to Pittsburgh, given everything that's happened, the way the city basically vilified him. And now it's, it's almost like the reverse of Batman. You either die or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Well, it's the opposite here. He stuck around and now like he's Negan, like he was a bad guy that
Right.
everybody fucking hated, and now this is his redemption story. Now he's here to save Maggie's little fucking kid so that everybody loves him, and that's basically what's going on. Like he has saved our season.
Yeah, I
And
mean, he's definitely kept you in the hunt. That's for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, and oh my goodness, look what happens when you throw George Pickens the fucking football.
What the fuck? Shut up. Yeah. Well, we've all known that.
I know. I've been saying it like
The dude goes nuts.
yeah, everybody's calling for him, these immature, blah, 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 get him out of here. And I get it. He does need to grow up a little bit. But at the same time, you make him happy. Look what happens.
Right.
It's like everything is clicking right now. And this story that's, with Pickett refusing to be the backup and all this, he says that he would have started in Seattle, which if that is actually true, then Tomlin needs his fucking head checked for one. But two, I don't know what to make of that because, everybody, even on our Facebook page, on Twitter, they're all fighting with each other over whether or not it happened. And Pickett come out and said, that's not true. I would have been the backup. Well, of course he's going to come out and say that.
Right.
Like, what's he going to do? Like, yeah, fuck him. I don't want to be the backup. No, he's not going to admit that. Nobody would.
And you don't really have a choice. I mean, you're under contract, whether you're the starter or not.
Well, the thing with, and even Kaboli, big Pittsburgh writer, kind of alluded to the fact that maybe there was some truth there, but who knows? Regardless of the fact, he's done this year unless Mason absolutely lays an egg.
Right.
If they would have brought Pickett in to start that Seattle game and he struggled and they had to go back to Mason, Mason comes in and plays well again, Pickett would have been done.
Yeah.
He might be done anyway. There are some people saying that the Pickett era is absolutely over. I don't know that that's the case. I think a lot of it's going to depend on what happens in the offseason, whether or not Mason Rudolph even wants to come back and what he would come back for. If Mason is not here and I'm the Steelers, I am still bringing in somebody to compete for the job, whether it be a first-round pick, second-round pick, probably not a first-round pick because the way it looks like it's fallen, we could still get a pretty good quarterback in the second round, possibly. But either way, I'm bringing somebody in. Maybe I look into a Justin Fields trade, whatever. Somebody is going to compete and make Kenny Pickett earn that starting job. It should not be handed to him, regardless of who the offensive coordinator ends up being. From what I've seen from Mason Rudolph, you can no longer tell me that it's the offensive system that is trash. Yes, it is trash, but it can work when you make the right plays, you make the right throws.
Sure. And
it's right there on fucking paper, on film.
Yeah, and it could be a film thing too. I mean, we've seen it with multiple rookie quarterbacks or first-time starters or whatever. Guys who haven't played for a while. There's not a lot of tape on them, so they don't really know his tendencies. They don't know his checkdowns. They don't know his progression. His favorites or whatever. That could have something to do with it. But he just looked like, you texted me the other day, and I saw it myself before you even said anything. The dude looks like he's playing for his life out there.
Yeah.
Like he's out there to give it everything he's got, and Pickett looks like the next Cutler.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, that's the best way I could describe it. Like you can just tell he is out there. Like this is his his life depends on this. And and it does, as far as his NFL job. If he would have went out there and sucked, he's a free agent after this year. No team would have given him a shot.
Right.
But now he's lighting it up. And if he continues to do it, I mean, the check's just going to get bigger and bigger.
Right.
Every
And
game that he performs well is more money that he's going to earn, whether it's in Pittsburgh or somewhere else.
yeah, 17 for 27, 290, 2 touchdowns in week 16. 18 for 24, 274. No touchdowns, but the big thing, no turnovers.
Yeah.
None.
Didn't need the touchdowns because Naj and Jalen were just running roughshod.
Right. But still threw for 275.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and
Pickens went for 193 of those, I think, that game.
four catches for like
Yeah.
190 something. And then
Yeah.
this last one, I think he had 5 or 6 catches for $130, $1 something.
$133. I think he had 9 targets.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many catches he had, but yeah.
You know, if I had to nitpick, I would say I'd like to see Freiermuth get a little more involved. But fuck, if it's working with Pickens and Deontay, you don't need Freiermuth. He can be your safety valve. But the bottom line is the offense is working in a way that it hasn't worked all season long, whether it was Kenny or Mitch. And all this does is it makes me that much more pissed off that we blew those fucking 3 games.
Right.
If Mason Rudolph is the number 2 quarterback, I don't think there's any way we lose to the Patriots and the Cardinals and probably not the Colts, which means that this game coming up against Baltimore would not only be for the division, it would be for the number 1 seed. Like, what are we doing? God, that burns my ass. And it's really going to sting if we don't make the playoffs, knowing that, you know.
Well, at the same time, yeah, it might sting not making the playoffs, but I think we both know you're not a Super Bowl contender, even with just because the shit that's going on in the locker room right now. Next year, who knows?
Okay, but let me play.
If Rudolph is the thing, if he's the real deal, you get a coach in there and an offensive coordinator that knows what they're doing, offensive minded. You need a good play caller. You get George, get his targets that he needs. You get the 1-2 punch in the backfield. Your defense is solid. You can make a run at it next year.
Let me be devil's advocate here for a second.
Because you're not getting by the Ravens. It ain't happening.
Dude, divisional opponent, AFC North. Yeah, you can say it's the Ravens, but who matches up better with the Ravens than anybody in the league?
Oh, absolutely. But they're tough, man.
They are.
They're
absolutely
tough.
They are. But I'm just saying, if there is a team that could go into Baltimore and win, it's a healthy Pittsburgh Steelers team. Do I think it's going to happen?
No. Not a stretch. It's not a stretch.
But I'm just saying, if you look across the AFC playoff teams right now, there's a lot of kinks in that armor.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Whether it's the Dolphins, the Chiefs, the Browns. I mean, the AFC is not as cut and dry as we once thought it was.
Oh God, no.
Everybody has glaring weaknesses that certain teams can exploit.
Yep. You have one team that's for sure legit, and then everybody else is beatable.
And Baltimore they don't want to see Pittsburgh or Cleveland in the playoffs.
No. Nope.
They absolutely don't, because of the whole divisional thing.
They might see both of them.
Exactly. It's very, very plausible.
Yeah.
Now back to the Pickett thing. Do I personally feel that Pickett refused to be the backup? I think it's a half truth. I think there was a discussion, and that I think he, was kind of given a choice, and he, I'll sit this one out too. If you're going to roll with him, let's just be safe. And I think in the back of his mind, he was maybe hoping that Mason would falter a little bit and that he would come back, but it kind of backfired because Mason performed well, and now he's basically lost his job. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I, again, don't think Pickett is the answer. I'm willing to give him another shot with another offensive coordinator, but I don't want him coming into next season inked in as the starter.
Right. Both them guys need competition.
Yeah.
If it's Rudolph, it's Rudolph. If it's Pickett, it's Pickett. They both need to go in the offseason knowing that neither one of them have the job.
Yeah. Well, and that's if Rudolph even wants to come back. Rudolph's going to be a free agent.
Well, no reason not to sign him if he wins you a playoff game.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, Pittsburgh, I'm sure will make a play for it, but that's to if Mason even wants to come back.
Right.
You know, he hasn't exactly been given the hero's treatment here until this season.
Sure.
You know, so he might, still hold some grudges there and come
How
free
many
agency.
how many years has he been in the league?
I believe
4?
this is his 4th, if I'm not mistaken. And him and Ben didn't exactly have a great relationship, but let's see where I want to say this is his 4th season, maybe his 5th. Oh shit, 6th. This is
6,
his
really?
6th season. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, because he didn't really play as a rookie, and then I believe his 2nd year was the year that Ben got hurt. And that's when he got some starts, got knocked out by the Ravens. Then Ben came back, and then he also got his head bashed in by Myles Garrett.
Right.
So yeah, this is his 6th season, and he's he's 28. So 2018 round 3 was when
Okay.
he was drafted. And again, I keep going back to this story, about how, for lack of better description, trash he was. And he wasn't trash. He wasn't Ben, I think, was the biggest problem with Mason Rudolph.
Right.
Like the old adage goes, you never want to be the guy that has to follow the guy. And that was what they were expecting him to do. And he didn't live up to that. And so the fan base turned on him. And now here he is. But there was also a guy that used to play for Pittsburgh that was brought in to be the guy, and he wasn't replacing a guy because they never had a guy before that, but he was brought in to be the stud, and he struggled mightily in his first few years. And then he went on to win 4 Super Bowls.
Right.
Do I think Mason Rudolph's going to win 4 Super Bowls? No. I'm just saying that sometimes a quarterback takes a long time before it really clicks. And maybe that's the case with Mason. Hopefully it is. Who knows? But at the very least, let's hope it does for the rest of this season.
Sure.
That being said, Pittsburgh, we need some help. Obviously, we have to beat Baltimore, which is very doable considering that they've clinched and Lamar is most likely not going to play. Harbaugh hasn't really put his cards on the table yet, but he would be absolutely insane to play Lamar at this point.
Yeah.
And I got to imagine there'll be a few others that either have limited reps or don't play at all.
Yeah, and they've already locked down the number 1 overall seed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So they're not losing nothing. I just don't know how much they want to keep you out of the playoffs.
Yeah, but what would you rather do? Keep your division rival out of the playoffs or go into the playoffs healthy? I get it. You want a little rhythm.
It's a clear answer. I mean, I wouldn't play him.
Yeah.
And Dave is over here saying that it's just announced that he's not playing, which is the smart move. I wouldn't play him either. I wouldn't play Likely. I wouldn't play quite a few of them. I'd leave OBJ out there just because he's a fucking baby. But
right.
Who is the number 2 in Baltimore?
They still have Tyler Huntley.
Okay. Yeah.
Who is
he's capable.
He's been in that system for a long time. I believe Tyler Huntley has even beat us, if I'm not mistaken. Lamar Jackson has never beaten Pittsburgh, which is a weird fucking stat when you consider how long he's been there, but he's never beaten the Steelers as a starting quarterback.
So, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't play Lamar either, but I don't know. I don't know if they need Lamar to win. I mean, I think they're a really good team and they can still have a chance without him.
Yeah. It's going to be a tight game. They're going to be fired up. The crowd, regardless of how many people they sit, it's AFC North football, and it's
Right.
probably going to be a lot closer than I want it to be. Bottom line is Pittsburgh's got to show that they want it and that they deserve it.
Yep.
You know, the good or bad thing about it, depending on how you look at it, is, well, look, I get what you're saying, Dave. He says don't want us in the playoffs, but at this point, what's it going to hurt other than 1 or 2 draft spots, unless we go on a run, which, that's probably not going to happen. But at this point, it is what it is. We made this bed. We might as well try and fuck it up for everybody else too. But we're playing Saturday night, or actually first game Saturday, 4:30.
Yep.
So we have no idea what's going to happen as far as our playoff implications. So the focus, there's no scoreboard watching. There's nothing. There is do your fucking job and see what happens.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's all you can do. And then after you do your job, you can figure out if you're going to watch the other games that decide your playoff fate.
Right.
And what I could probably see happening is that we're going to win, and then Buffalo and who's the other team that matters? We need Buffalo to lose to Miami, which they haven't done in 3 straight tries.
Right.
And the other one, the Jags and the whoever they're playing.
Titans.
Yeah. And the Titans haven't beat the Jags in the last 3. And we need one of those 2 teams to win for us to get in. Now, I realize we're probably not.
So you need to win. You need to win, and the Jaguars and the Bills need to lose.
One of the 2.
One of the 2.
If we win, we need either the Jags or the Bills to lose. And
I think your best bet is the Dolphins game to beat the Bills in Miami. That's probably your best option.
Yeah. Only problem with that is
they can beat the Jags.
Miami is hurting right now. Don't know what Waddle's status is. They just lost Bradley Chubb. They lost.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying that's your best option. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll happen or not. I haven't even picked this week's games yet, but the Titans aren't beating the Jags. I mean, it's you can pretty much chalk that one up now.
I don't know, man. Mike Vrabel knows how to get a team ready.
Well, sure.
And he would love nothing more than to play spoiler.
Of course. I just don't see it happen.
For the most part, I agree with you on that, Dave. But at the same, I can't do it, man. I just want to, whatever.
I know. As a Cowboys fan, I agree with Dave. I'd much rather have a top 15 pick than a first round loss. I hate losing the first round of the playoffs. I hate this coffee even more. But yeah, it's heartbreaking, man. You work so hard all year long. You get to the playoffs, whether you deserved it or not, sneaked in with a wild card or whatever, and then you get beat. It's so demoralizing. It sucks. A top 15 pick, that's organizational changing at times. You can change an organization with one guy in the top 15 easily. I mean, there's guys 3rd, 4th, 5th round picks that have changed organizations. So, I mean, a top 15 pick, I agree with Dave. That's an organizational changing moment rather than getting in the playoffs when you probably shouldn't even be there and then getting your ass kicked.
See, this is a situation where I wish everybody else played before us so that I could know, like,
right.
We weren't going to make it anyway. We might as well lose this game. But now, no, now I have no fucking choice. If Pittsburgh wins the game, I have to root for us to get in. I just do, because if we're healthy enough, if Minka is back and Trenton Thompson is back and Landon Roberts is back, looking across the AFC, all of those games are winnable. Will we win? Probably not. Mm-hmm. But I think we can at least compete if we can stay, healthy. That's just the optimist in me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hate this season for that very reason because it's been so up and down. Like we were literally this close to potentially playing for the division and the number one seed to now
Right.
we're talking about if we lose, we're a top 15 pick. Like how fucked up is that?
That's terrible.
Yeah. No, I mean that's why we've been calling for Tomlin's head. And the son of a bitch did it again.
Yeah.
Guaranteed 17th straight winning season. He's not going nowhere.
I think he is. I think
No.
he's going.
If there was any shot of him losing his job, that ended these last 2 weeks. Guaranteed that he's not going anywhere. Just Steeler fans, get that thought out of your fucking head. He is not, they're not going to let him go unless he goes on his own. Or if like one of these teams comes and gives just a monster package to try and trade for him. I've resolved myself to the fact that he's not going anywhere.
I hope you're wrong because they need it. They need a change.
I agree, but it is what it is. If they keep him, I will at least be a little bit happy if he goes outside of the organization and hires OC, offensive line coach, DB coach, get some fresh young talent in here and not just keep recycling the same system with in-house guys.
Right.
We need a fresh pair of eyes to take this offense with all of the firepower that it has and turn it into a juggernaut because I think the pieces are there.
Oh, they are. I mean, you're missing a couple, but I mean, you got the offensive weapons. You got the two running backs that are fully capable of being 3-down backs on their own.
Stud receivers. We need a solid number 3.
Yep.
The tight end, Freiermuth, could be elite level in the right system, but we need a better offensive line, a little bit better system.
Yeah, he's like a wine glass held together with Scotch tape, though.
Freiermuth?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem like he gets banged up quite a bit here, but it's because he plays. I think he needs to put on a little more weight. Like he just seems like he's a little too lanky for the style that he plays. Yeah. I'd like to see him bulk up a little bit, kind of like Heath Miller was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, but Austin is a little midget dude. He's kind of a gadget play guy. He's not a guy that strikes fear in the hearts coming out of the slot. He just isn't. He can stretch the field a little bit, but we need that clutch possession type slot receiver.
Yeah, I'm with Dave there, and that Byron and Brian combo would be something in Pittsburgh.
I'd be okay with Byron Leftwich for sure. I would also, like I said, I've said it before, I'd be really good with Dan Orlovsky. I think he's got a really good offensive mind. Even though he's never coached before, what's going to hurt? You had this fucking clown Matt Canada in there for 2 years. Why not give a guy like Dan Orlovsky a shot?
Yeah, I mean, he did play the game.
Yeah. Even though he ran out of the back of the end zone once, but
yeah.
And Flores, I would absolutely love to bring back. I don't know that that's going to be. I don't know that Minnesota is going to let him go for a lateral move, though. Dorsey, I wouldn't be opposed to because I think he was the scapegoat in Buffalo, as opposed to I don't think that was his fault. Although they did start running the ball a little more when he left, and it's proved to be the right move. But either way, it's better than the system Matt Canada installed here. So, that being said, we'll Frank Reich. I don't know, man. He's tarnished goods. Fired in year 1 in his first in this coaching job. He was fired midway through the season with the Colts. I don't know that I would want Frank. Although if he'd come as an OC, I guess it'd be worth kicking the tires on. And more bad news for us Steeler fans. The same crew that absolutely fucked the Detroit Lions against the Cowboys is
give it a rest.
Is the crew that's doing the Steelers Ravens game. And look, yes, you can wave your fucking silver pom poms all you want. The Cowboys should not have won that fucking game because the Lions got goat fucked.
No, the Lions shouldn't have won that game because there was an uncalled tripping call that wasn't on the Cowboys. It was on the Lions, clear as fucking day. That wouldn't even have gave the Detroit Lions the ball to even go down the field to score. We'd had a first down. We'd have ran the clock.
That's a missed call, though. You could literally do that everywhere. This was just a blatant wrong call. It was egregious, and it meant the game.
You can see the guy go over and talk to the ref. Does he have any other reason to talk to the ref other than to report?
No. He doesn't even get to the ref. The ref doesn't. He's running onto the field. Meanwhile, the guy that actually caught the ball is standing nose to nose with the ref, and he still went with the guy that was 10 yards away from him.
Right, because that 70 had been declaring all a game.
So what? That's part of the deception.
You can see that 68 and somebody else walk towards the ref. And what other reason do you have to walk towards the ref other than to declare?
Doesn't matter. Do your fucking job and pay attention to who is speaking to you, and don't just say,
"Oh yeah, no."
You know what I'm saying? Like
the refs blew that call 100%. I'm not denying that at all.
If you're going to be a league, if you're going to be a league that is going to be sponsored by betting fucking apps and casinos and shit like that, you damn well better get the fucking calls right. Sure, you can miss holding calls, you can call PI when it's not PI or whatever, but for something that egregious that literally swings the game, you're fucking not only are you fucking this whole fan base, but you're fucking a lot of people's money up.
Yeah.
For a league that is pushing this legal online gambling shit, get it right. If it's time for full-time officials.
Sure.
Make them fucking go to seminars and camps and make them go to college games and watch and learn and whatever. Like, we can't have a goddamn substitute math teacher out here deciding, who's going to get the number 1 seed in the NFC playoffs.
Right. Yeah. It just, to me, it wasn't that one call that made the game. Yes, it was the end of the game. The Lions would have won the game.
Yes. Yeah. No, it made all the difference.
It's a game swinging call for sure. But there's, multiple things throughout that game that could have went either way, that both teams were battling. Both teams were driving the ball well. Both defenses looked good. It was just, again, one of them stupid fucking things we see in the news all the time.
Yeah, that same crew literally changed 2 other games with missed calls this season.
Yeah,
one was the Chiefs non-PI call on
Valdez-Scantling.
Yeah,
yeah,
same guys. So I'm just wondering, is it going to be Pittsburgh that they fuck, or is it going to be Baltimore?
Right. And like I said, that missed tripping call, Detroit doesn't even get the ball to go do that. Declare an offensive lineman touchdown bullshit.
Yeah.
That doesn't even if and that's, to me, as a Cowboys fan, that's a big call, because then you don't even have to deal with the other shit. The other stuff's not even in the headlines.
Yeah.
Dallas gets a first down, we run the clock out, game's over. Detroit don't even get to touch the ball again. That's a huge missed call. I was screaming at the fucking TV. It was obvious. I mean, it was almost as obvious. It was just as obvious as that non-holding call in the Chiefs game way back 8-9 weeks ago, wherever it was. Just, he did everything but, ballroom dance with him out there, and they didn't call it. It was stupid. And it was, the dude was way over here, and then he kicks his foot It's just it was so bad. And if that's called, the other one doesn't even happen. But that's a missed call. It did happen. Then this happened. Then that was bad, and it just is what it is. But I think the world is mad, mostly because it came out in Cowboys' favor. Because if they would have called it, right, he did declare everything's fine, they score that touchdown, Lions win, there wouldn't have been a peep from nobody. Stephen A. Smith would have been fucking livid. He'd have been loving life. See, I told you the Cowboys are trash. Blah, the Cowboys are trash. Cowboys suck. They're not what they are. Blah, which is bullshit. It's not true at all. The Cowboys are a legit contender this year, and everybody needs to.
Wait. I can show you the top of this little document that we share that says different.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's show it. But they're still a legit contender.
What game was that? Was that after the Miami game? You did
that was after the I can't remember. It was before the Miami game, I think.
Yeah, who'd you lose to before that? It was somebody on grass.
The Bills.
That's right, yeah.
And we looked terrible in that game.
Yeah. So real quick, the playoff picture over in the NFC. Obviously, Niners are in, Lions, Cowboys, Eagles, and Rams have all clinched. And then you got the Bucks and Green Bay are currently, I believe, winning in. And then you got Seattle, the Saints, and the Falcons need significant help.
Yeah.
49ers are locked into the 1. Dallas can either be the 2 or the 5. Same with the Eagles.
Yep.
They don't play each other, right?
No, Dallas plays Washington, and if we win the division, and we're number 2.
And if you lose and the Eagles win, it's vice versa.
Correct. So no matter what, if we win, we're in. We're number 2, whether the Eagles win or not.
I mean, you're in regardless.
Yeah. No. Yeah. If we win,
you're the 2.
We're division champs. We're number 2.
Yeah.
So if both teams win, we're still number 2.
And Eagles are 5. And if both teams lose,
teams lose, I think Eagles take it.
Really?
I think. Hold on. Because we'd still have it because we'd be 8-4 in the conference, and Philly would be 7-5 because they play the Giants.
Gotcha.
So we'd still take it. So if both teams win, we're number 2. If both teams lose, we're number 2. If we lose and they win, we're number 5. They're number 2. So we're either playing the Packers or the Bucks, and I like both those games. I think I'd rather play the Packers. But I don't know. I think Dallas wins either one of those games against the Packers or the Bucks. I really do.
And then in the AFC, obviously Baltimore is locked number 1. Chiefs are pretty much locked at number 2.
I got Miami at number 2 right now.
Well, no, Chiefs are locked at number 3.
Yep.
Number 2 is either going to be Buffalo or Miami, depending on who wins that game.
Right.
And number 4 is either going to be the Jags, the Colts, or the Texans, depending on what happens there. And then, of course, you got the Steelers. That's there waiting on everything.
And Cleveland.
Oh, yeah. And Cleveland is locked at the 5, I believe. Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, I guess let's go ahead and get into these picks, huh?
Sure.
All right. Well, I hate that I got to start with this one. This is bullshit, but fuck it. Let's go for it. Saturday, 3:30 Central, 4:30 Eastern. Our beloved Pittsburgh Steelers travel to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Sans Lamar Jackson, as it is official, he is not playing. Very simple formula. We have to win unless all the other teams lose or tie.
Right.
That's the weird thing is we can still get in if we lose. But then it gets really, really messy with 4 other teams to lose and maybe even hope for a tie somewhere. I can't remember the exact scenario, but we got to win. And we need, again, one of the Colts and or Texans to not tie. And then we have to have either the Jags or the Bills to lose.
Yep. Najee Harris was limited to practice, probably just a rest day.
Yeah.
Cameron Hayward, the same thing.
Minka and Trenton Thompson have a chance, I know of, as well as the Landon Roberts.
Minka did not practice today.
Today's Wednesday. I don't think he would have practiced anyway. They'll probably see how he's looking Thursday, Friday.
Yep.
I'll feel a lot better if we can get Minka and Trenton Thompson back, just because our secondary, although hats off to Eric Rowe. He's been playing lights out the last couple of weeks coming off the practice squad.
It's in Baltimore.
What do I do here? The last 2 weeks I have picked against us, and we've looked like contenders.
And you know Baltimore's been watching tape.
The last time Mason Rudolph played Baltimore, he got knocked unconscious, literally lifeless on the field. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's the one where they basically cut his face mask off on the field because they didn't know how fucked up he was. He looked dead.
I don't remember that. I'll have to look that up.
All right. Steeler fans understand that I am doing this.
Remember, you already have the season win for the pick'em. I can't catch you.
Give me Baltimore.
Oh, he's still gonna do it. Atta girl.
I feel sick to my stomach. Sometimes you just gotta. The mojo has to stay the same.
9 times out of 10, your gut is right. Jacob hates you right now.
Hey, Jacob's a Bear fan. He doesn't care. You got to understand, Jake. I'm doing this for the team.
Yeah, you picked against them last 2 weeks and they won. Now maybe this is what it takes.
You know where my heart is.
What about Saturday night? Texans at Colts.
You know what? Fuck this. I'm going out in a blaze of fucking glory. Change my pick. Pittsburgh's going to fucking win.
Just because I want to see you cry.
I'll probably do that anyway. But Miracle Mason, going to do it one more time.
Oh.
Now, see, Jake, you called me out. I'm picking a tie. How's
that? Ain't gonna happen. It's already inked.
You're picking the Ravens?
I got the Ravens.
All right. Then the one of the games that matters to us follows that up. 7:15 Central. Texans at Indianapolis. Minshew Mania versus the Rook. CJ Stroud.
Yep. Minshew's been playing good football.
Yeah, and Stroud played very well in his return from injury last week as well. Potential division crown on the line here, depending on what happens with Jacksonville. Give me the vet.
Yeah,
Yep, I'm going. I'm going Colts. Give me Gardner Minshew and the Colts.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm gonna ride the Minshew train as long as it's pumping.
Then we move to Sunday, kicking it off
Sunday.
at noon in a game that means absolutely dick for either team. The Browns taking on the Bengals. Browns cannot improve their seeding whatsoever, so I don't necessarily know that they'll give it 100% and put 100% of shit on tape. Although Myles Garrett is
You think
still
Deshaun Watson will play?
he's on IR.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He had that baby surgery or whatever it was.
Yeah, no, it's Joe. Oh, you know what? Flacco is on a roll. Give me the Browns. I think they want to make a statement. Give me the Browns.
Absolutely.
Vikings Lions again.
They named Mullins the quarterback for the Vikings.
No, I don't think it matters. Lions are pissed.
Oh yeah.
Give me Detroit. They're going in. They want to go in hot. So give me the Lions.
Yep. Divisional opponent. They're going to make a statement.
Yep. Jags Titans in Tennessee. Trevor Lawrence was limited. Probably will play.
I would assume so, since their season's kind of on the line here. Kind
of. I've already clinched this motherfucker. Give me the Titans.
I'll give you the Titans. I'm taking the Jags.
Jets Patriots. Dude, do they have to play this? Like, can't the fucking Fox crew like request this time off? Like, we're not gonna fucking put this on TV.
I think they just did it. Just it's two teams both playing at home. So might as well just give them a consolation game at the end of the year. Here you go, guys. Just go play your backyard football in your own little thing, and
potential number 3 pick on the line for the loser, I believe.
Yeah.
No, they're 4-12, 6-10. Are they that close?
If the Patriots win,
they would be. Yeah, it could be. Is there anybody worse?
Titans are 5-11.
Cardinals are
4-12.
Chargers are 5-11.
Commanders are 4-12.
Commanders are 4. So the 3 could potentially swing in there. I don't.
Giants are 5-11. Chargers are 5-11.
The only way the Jets could get the number 3 is if they. Yeah, I don't think the Jets can get 3 at all. The Patriots can get 3 if they lose.
Yeah, Jets are closer to 10.
Yeah, Jake just said it. If the Patriots lose, they get pick 3. So yeah, give me the Jets. Although Bill probably, by all accounts, may not be there next year, so he might coach his ass off to win that. Just to one last little fuck you right out of town.
Yeah, I think the Jets fall on their face here. I think the Patriots are going to win it.
I'm going to take the Jets. Falcons Saints. One team could get a spot depending on what happens. The other team definitely going home. At New Orleans. New Orleans has looked decent the last couple weeks. I'm going to take the Saints.
Oh, man. Yeah, this is tough. I don't know. This is another one I'd like to pick a tie.
Right.
I'll take the Birds.
All righty. Falcons, Panthers. I mean, Buccaneers, Panthers. Sorry. 1, 2, 3.
Buccaneers.
Bucks. Bears, Packers. Bears
Come on,
win.
Bears.
Bears
God,
win. 8 and 9. Since he's come back from injury, the Bears are either number 1 or near the top in total offense, all that stuff.
Right.
It's in Green Bay, though. Packers have to win. Give me the Packers.
Yeah, Packers are going to win this game. I really don't want them to, but I think because I really think we're going to play them first round of the playoffs. So the more demoralized they are, the better. And I just don't like them.
Thank you for picking the Pack. Hey, you might want to check the standings, bro. Moving on. Broncos, Raiders. 2 teams without a prayer. Broncos are kind of in shambles right now, so give me the Raiders.
Yeah, I don't know what that whole Russ situation.
Yeah, we missed that whole thing too.
Yeah.
Oh, and let me just I don't want to go into a long diatribe about it. I've seen it on Twitter, people calling for Pittsburgh to go after Russ. No. Want no fucking part of Russell Wilson.
Or his contract.
No. Yeah, that's the other thing. Just get it out of your fucking head, Steeler fans. It's not going to happen.
That's
Better
the
not
Broncos.
happen.
That's the Broncos, baby, and they're gonna raise that thing into whatever it is. And
If we're gonna make a move to pay a quarterback, there's only one out there right now that could potentially be available that I would want to go after, and that's Justin Fields.
You can have him.
And I'm not even sold on that. I'm just saying, of all the ones that are potentially available, he's the only one that I would. Okay. But
right.
Yeah, either way, give me the Raiders. Eagles, Giants.
1, 2, 3.
Eagles. Yes. Seahawks, Cardinals.
After the way the Cardinals played last week,
give me the Cardinals.
I don't fucking know.
Give me the Cardinals. At home, Seahawks all but got knocked out.
I'm going to take the Hawks.
Cardinals at home to play spoiler. Chiefs, Chargers. It's now or never, Kansas City.
Yeah. Get your shit together. Teach your wide receivers how to catch a ball. They have 40 drops this year, most in the NFL.
Yeah, it's rough. Give
me
the Chiefs.
Yeah, give me the Chiefs.
Rams and Niners.
I think the entire offense is going to sit probably. I don't know yet, but I would assume that Shanahan's not going to play his studs for the whole game, if at all.
Yeah, I can't imagine. The Rams are playing really good ball right now, so I'm going to take the Rams.
Yeah, I think he'll let him play some ball. I don't think he's going to let him play the whole game. I'm still going to take the Niners. That defense is special, and we'll see what happens.
Pat isn't playing. Pat Mahomes?
Mahomes isn't playing? I didn't see that.
Oh, hold on a minute.
Chiefs head coach Andy Reid announced Wednesday that Patrick Mahomes won't play Sunday versus the Chargers. Blaine
Blaine
Gabbert will get the
Gabbert,
start.
Chargers.
What the fuck?
Changed my pick right now to it's Blaine Gabbert.
With receivers that can't catch
Chargers.
against a team that's absolutely fucking terrible.
Chargers. Give me the Chargers.
Oh my goodness. Okay. You can have I'm staying with the Chiefs. Gabbert's gonna have a career day.
That's not going to be very difficult for it to do. Fuck. Yeah, I got the Rams. You got the Niners. Cowboys, Commanders.
1, 2, 3.
Cowboys.
Cowboys. Even though, if there's one fucking team out there that could do it.
Okay, and they're playing the same time as the Eagles, so they definitely, yeah, they got to try. So yeah, yeah. And then closing it out. You know how painful it's going to be for me if Pittsburgh wins that game Saturday afternoon, and then I have to wait all the way until Sunday night at 7:20 for my last hope to be the Miami Dolphins beating the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. I'll hear all about it in my phone, I'm sure. Let's see who's not playing.
Well, Josh Allen has been given the green light. Obviously, Nick Chubb is out. I haven't seen anything about Waddle as of yet.
I don't see anything about. I wouldn't think they'd sit anybody because they need to win to be in, right?
Yeah,
The Bills.
Bills. Yes, Bills. If they lose, I think they can still get in, but if they lose, they need help. They need other things to have happened, which again they will know what those things are before they
Right.
even take the field. But they can actually, if they win that game, they win the division.
Sure.
So they
So,
can
yeah.
go. They can go to
Everybody's
the number
playing.
2 seed by
Everybody's
winning.
playing.
Yeah,
Give me the Bills.
give me the Dolphins.
Well, we have a lot of differences here. Oh, I still can't catch you. Eight games that we split.
Oh, that's going to be painful for you if you.
So if I pick them all right, I'll win. I'll lose by 2 for the yearly. So what 2 games do I want to change here?
Oh, by the way, I'm going to have to pick up the belt there, Jake, so I can somehow get it to this piece of shit.
What?
You beat a guy who's in jail for the last 2 months.
It's not my fault he can't keep his P's and Q's in line. And how the fuck does he make it to the championship game being in jail for 2 months?
That's as good a question as any. I don't know if his cousin or if his brother Dylan was managing his team or not.
What are you guys doing?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, Run CMC. He's been in jail since early November.
And then I play an egg in my league.
I saw that. Yeah.
The worst game I had all season. Just terrible. I was in 2 championship games. It was just absolutely redonkulous. But I'm so glad I got invited to your league. I could show you guys how fantasy football is played.
Yeah. Eat a dick.
And, I also want to say this is my first championship in a decade. I haven't won a fantasy football championship in a long fucking time.
Well, sun shines on a dog's ass every now and then.
This one feels good, and I got no quorums about beating up on a dude in prison. None.
Yeah, I can't wait till he gets out. I can tell him like, yeah, I need to look and see if it would have made a difference. If anybody on his roster would have
No,
changed it. I don't think so.
I looked.
But
He could have played his best players in every position. I still would have beat him.
he's usually pretty good about managing his team, so his team might have looked very different.
He just had a lot of late season injuries and stuff. You know, that he could have went to the waiver wire and it would have been a completely different game.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, even with the guys on his bench, I still would have beat him.
Right on. Yeah, no 3-peat for you, Jake. So.
But the champ is here.
All right. Well, there is a.
I beat up on him. I ran away with it. I think that's my best score of the year. I think, but I also had CeeDee Lamb went off. It was crazy. It was a good game.
Now, I thought about doing a live stream during the game, but both times that I did live streams during the game, it was very, very bad.
Well, I'm off on Saturday. It's also my birthday. So we could do a birthday live stream, watch the game type of hoot and hollering session.
Here's what I'll do. I will not commit to during the game for the simple fact that Jake is right. Sometimes you just got to keep doing things where you're doing it. What I will say, are you doing anything that night? Are you guys going out or anything?
We don't have any plans right now.
If the Steelers win, I could almost guarantee you I will jump on and we'll talk about it. Whether you're here or not, you can.
Right.
Hell, Jake, if you're around, I could fucking patch you in. And if they lose, I still might come on and talk about what went wrong and look into the offseason or whatever. But I don't think I'm going to take the risk of coming on during the game for the simple fact that I've done it twice and it both times was just horrible.
Well, and the first time you got kicked off of YouTube.
No, that was the second.
Well, the second, that's right. First time they watched you, second time they caught you.
No, the first time was all the weather delays. And I was like, fuck this. I'm not sticking around to watch this piece of shit. That was against the Patriots.
Yeah.
And then the second time, YouTube slapped the PP and that was that.
Oh, wow.
So, all right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us. Thanks for watching. We will hopefully see you Saturday evening.
Yep.
And we can talk about the Colts Texans as it's happening. Depending on what happens in the Steeler game, I might have my mouth around the barrel of a 12 gauge, depending, it's hard to say. No. All right, folks, that'll wrap it up. We'll either see you Saturday or middle of next week and talk playoffs, and we'll talk the NCAA championship game, right? I never thought I would still be able to say that word after.
And it's over.
What we've seen.
18 weeks is gone.
Yeah.
It goes so fast.
You're going to have to come up with some other shit to talk about, because start watching some movies and TV shows and some video games and wrestling and all kinds of shit. Because
I got all kinds of shit we can talk about.
The show will go on after NFL. Just won't be quite as exciting. So, all right, folks, thanks for watching. We will catch you all next time.
This is the last month without baseball.
Yeah. I'll have you and Jake on, and I'll just sit here and produce for you while you guys talk about shit that I don't know anything about.
Yeah. Well, don't talk basketball because I don't give a shit about those.
College basketball I like.
I watch the tournament. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know who's in it until they post it. And
I half-ass pay attention, and then come turning time, I
have watched a couple Illinois highlights because they're doing pretty good this year.
They'll blow it.
Some are saying, Final Four team, but like you said, they'll blow it.
They always find a way to
probably lose in the first or second round. But they do look good. I mean, I have watched some highlights. They do look a really good team. So, and they beat up on some good teams.
Good deal.
So it'll be interesting. It'll be a fun tournament like it always is. They're always fun.
All right, folks. That'll do it. We will either see you in a few days or see you in a week.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yep. Happy New Year. See ya.
Peace.